Hi, this is Christine with Cocoa Daisy, and I'm a little behind. Last month was kind of crazy and I was gone on vacation for over a week. And so I never was able to get the April video out in a timely manner, but there was some fun things that I did with April that I wanted to just do a real quick flip through and just kind of show you how I set up my planner and some of the things that I did with the kits and just kind of share that with you. So I apologize that it's a month late, but hopefully you'll still enjoy seeing what I created with it. And if you've purchased an extra kit that you were maybe saving to use, then you can still use some of these ideas. And you can always translate some of these ideas, of course, to any month. But so my April planner, I used a Webster's Pages binder, and it's kind of the cream kind of quilted. As a lot of you know, and it's kind of an internal joke, that I'm not a huge fan of purple. But I wanted to create a kit. There was a lot of you, we hadn't done any purple yet. There was a lot of you who do love purple. And so I found what I thought was the perfect theme or artwork to use to go with and bring those purple tones in, and that was lilacs. And so with the lilac colors, we were able to add some of the pretty greens, the real spring greens, and some of the periwinkle, and a little bit of kind of the softer pinks, and I felt like that kind of balanced it all out. And so part of the reason why I chose the cream color binder was just to to not make it all feel so purple. So some of you may have wanted a purple binder if that's the color you love, so that is perfectly fine. But for me, that's why I went with the more neutral binder. And the other reason I bring that up is if there's ever a kit that you receive that when you first get it, you're like, oh, I don't know if that's really my theme. I don't know if that's really a color I like. I really hope that you try to embrace it and give it a chance, because as I said, I'm not a huge purple person. But what I did by adding some of the neutrals and by highlighting some of the greens and the other colors that were in the kit, I made it work for me, and I absolutely loved it. I had so much fun with the colors and the lilacs, in that it really, the whole idea of purple became a complete non-issue for me, and I totally embraced it and had so much fun with it. So you'll see as I go through that a lot of the papers and some of the papers from some of our memory keeping kits and the journaling cards, I pulled some of those other colors because we always do an expanded palette when we do the memory keeping kits, just to kind of give you more to choose from as far as matching your photos and creating your layouts. And so what I did, because they do coordinate, I pulled in some of those to just try and just build my color palette a little bit. And so that's a good option to remember if you get a kit that you're just, I'm not sure if that's my favorite color or that's my favorite theme. There's ways you can totally make it work, and you end up just loving it. So just a little bit about the pocket. What I did, the little note card, the packing card that I include every month in with your order, I thought that was so pretty. I put that in the little window there. Some of my the Post-it notes, some of my tab stickers, I just kind of stuck a little tag in there. I thought that was cute. And then a few of the die cuts. And I just will take little glue dots, not a lot of adhesive because I don't want to wreck my planner, but I'll just use just a teeny bit of a glue dot, and that will hold them in there enough, and then I can just peel them back off real carefully and it won't damage my my planner. This was I had made this from some die cuts. This was from one of our kits last year, but the butterflies, we had some of the butterflies in the memory keeping kits, so I was able to use those throughout and kind of pulled some from some of past kits as well. This was a journaling card that I had turned into a little tag just by punching a hole and putting a little ring reinforcer on there and just notching the corners there a little bit, makes it a little tag. So that turned out cute too. And then I'm just gonna flip through a minute, and a lot of times I'll put a piece of acetate over the front just to kind of protect my my first cover page there. And I always do, as I mentioned, a lot of this again is going to be repeats. It's how I set up my planner. It's the system that works for me. So some of this you may have seen, but I just put some pattern paper over the calendar on this one just to kind of so I don't have two calendars. That's not necessary, and it's pretty. So, and then the weekly stripes. And then we had a piece of acetate in one of the kits, and I cut that down and I put a little tab on that because I wanted kind of a section that, a divider that I could go to right away for my weekly pages. So that's what I did to show my weekly pages. And then this is something else new that I've started, where the inks that I'm thinking of using that month for any stamping in my planner, I'll go through and I'll stamp those, and then I'll write the name of them. So when I have them in my box of my planner goodies, I know exactly what they're going to look like, and I don't have to test them all. So that's been a lot of help. And then this was one of the 4x6 note cards in the memory keeping pocket kit, and I just rounded the corners on that. And then what I did, I like to, instead of, because my planners get really bulky, trying to put a whole notepad in here will just add too much. So what I do is I like to have just a few sheets handy. And with this one, I actually took a piece of the packaging. So most everything comes with some sort of plastic packaging on it. And what I did is I just cut a piece of that. Actually, I cut two pieces. And then I sewed around three of the sides, and then I slipped in some of this rainbow confetti that we had in one of the kits. I don't remember offhand which one it was, but this cute little rainbow confetti. And then I put it in the top, and then I stitched the top shut, and then I stitched it onto the little tag. So you kind of have like a little shaker card with the cute little butterflies. And then that way you're not getting a whole lot of bulk, but you can keep those notes from your notepad just kind of handy. And then a lot of times, as I do every month, I make a little meal plan using you could always use a 4x6 card. I use the smaller size of the personal size dashboard to make my little meal plan divider. So there's just a little tag there, or a tab, and then I attach some more little notepads for my grocery lists. And then, as you can see, I used them all. There's only one left there, but I I use a set of the personal pages, the stripe pages, to do my meal planning on. Now, obviously, you don't have to create another section for this. You could just use the size that come with your kit. You could just use those for your meal planning if you wanted to. But a lot of times I'll use these for scheduling or brain dumps. So I like to have the separate smaller list for my meal planning. And then one of the bookmarks I made, this is cut down from a dashboard, and then this is patterned paper. And then I just took a few of the die cuts that were included in the kits, and I raised them up with a little bit of foam adhesive just to kind of give them a little dimension. And I liked how this one kind of ran off the page too. So that's that. We had a piece of vellum. Vellum, a lot of times to me, the vellum and the overlays are just kind of something fun to layer in your planner. They don't a lot of times necessarily serve a real specific purpose, other than the fact that they're just kind of a different texture and they're kind of pretty, just to kind of layer in. And then I call it the back side of the calendar page, I use to write my goals for April. That's something I do every month. And so I didn't even attempt to write a bunch of them out because I knew I wouldn't get to them. And just another butterfly die cut on there. And then the calendar page, there's a couple of things I wanted to show you on here. What's kind of fun is I used some thin washi tape to kind of denote like the length of our vacation and then shipping. And on the planner sticker, there's always these little triangles. And I thought they were kind of neat. They kind of made it look like arrows. So I used those. And then I raised a couple of the die cuts up with a little bit of foam adhesive again. One of the things that was kind of an accident, and I just left it, and it's fine because it was kind of cute, is the stamp here. This is if you want the rainbow, you've got to put up with the rain. When I stamped that over here, I stamped it upside down. And I thought, you know what, under the umbrella, that's fine. It just looks like the letters are raining down upside down. So I just left that. Sometimes you have little accidents, just embrace them. And then something that I thought was kind of fun, the stamp set had these different raindrops. And I thought it would be fun to have them falling from the word. So one of the things you can do is you can take so you would stamp your lettering first. You would put down just a piece of scrap paper over that to protect it, and then stamp down your raindrops, and then when you pull that up, it looks like they start right under it. You could do that on the next page. I'll show you. I did it kind of where an umbrella would be too. So that's just kind of a fun way to mask off when you do some stamping. I also wanted to mention, you'll see that these little stamps that are like my to-do list, the daily to-do, that are in the tabs, these were all part of the stamp set that were in the kit, and they're designed to fit perfectly within our tabs. So, and they also fit on the cut on my silhouette. When I cut out the bookmarks, they will also fit in that tab as well. So, but they're designed to fit perfectly in that little space in the tabs. So you'll see I used those a lot. I used those a lot this month, and I used them this coming month too. And so here's an example of how I did that with the umbrella. I just kind of masked off a little area and then stamped them so it looked like it was raining from under the umbrella instead of onto it. So I thought that was kind of fun. And then here, sometimes when you have extra pages, now I knew because we were going to be gone, I knew I was going to have extras of these sheets, the weekly spreads. And so one of the things that you can do, I'm always trying to look for a way for you to repurpose your pages. If you don't necessarily always use the dailies, or you don't always use the week on 2 pages, I'm always trying to find a way to show you how to repurpose those. I wanted to make a packing list for in my planner for when we went away. So what I did, I just wanted some nice grid paper to write on. So what I did is I took 2 of the pages and I glued them together and rounded the corners, and then now I had a nice sheet that I could write some notes for packing, and I didn't have to, cut up. I used a bunch of the other print. I didn't have to print out more from the printables. I was able to use what I had already. I just rounded the corners, and then I added the little tab there for that. And then I made a pocket, and this month I just used some of the pattern paper, and I added a few of the little die cuts. I put some note cards in that side. I put my stickers in this side. This is just a punch, a border punch that I punched out and put that on there and adhered a couple butterflies. There was some chipboard clouds in one of the kits, actually in a couple of the kits, and I thought those looked cute with that. And again, here's, as I mentioned, bringing in those other colors. I added in some of the corals and the oranges, and it works perfectly, but it just kind of breaks up some of all of the purple and the green for me. And then this is a little sheet that I like to to make and keep in my binder. A lot of times, what I discovered is as I was writing out my daily to-dos, there were things that I wanted to do that day, but they weren't pressing, and I found I kept rewriting them every day. And I thought, well, that's kind of silly. So what I made is I made kind of a master list of things that I had to do within the next couple weeks or so, or I wanted to do, not necessarily goals, just things that I've got to remember to do. And I just put those on a little list, and then I just keep that in my daily to-do section. And then on the back of it, I used a note card from the Pocket memory keeping kit, and I added my one little word for the year on there. I know there's a couple more ideas I'm going to show on how to do some things with your one little word in this next month's planner. So, because I know we had someone ask for ideas. And then this little note card is in the Planner Classified, and that's our little bunny Simon. And then on the back of that, I added, I adhered hit that note card and then a note card from our Pocket memory keeping kit. And I just put it, again, to try and keep the bulk down instead of a whole pad of sticky notes. I just put a few of them on there. And I thought they looked cute with the rainbow. So that is just kind of handy for me as well. And another, this one turned out really cute. Another bookmark. And this was just one of the one of the dashboards that I cut down, and then I stamped that if you want the rainbow stamp on here a couple times. So it kind of looked like the trail that the butterflies were flying. And then on the back, I cut out Simon. He was on one of the printables for April. And I cut him out and I put him on there. And then I took some of that rainbow confetti and I tried to kind of line it up as far as rainbow order in with the colors that were on the paper itself. And I think it turned out really cute, if you can see those. It's subtle, but it's kind of fun. So all the little butterflies on there. And then the daily section, which is just not a lot in there because it's all been used. And then I'll just show you my dashboards. I didn't decorate these a whole lot, just simply for lack of time. Last month was just kind of crazy. And then I take one section and I always use some of the personal size dashboards to section out from the tabs from the top, one of the other divided sections. And then planner notes, that's just pattern paper and a dashboard. That's just a dashboard and more pattern paper. And again, the same thing. The papers were so pretty. I made a clip. Here's a clip I made from a couple of the butterfly die cuts as well. And then another bookmark. Again, cut down a dashboard and added some die cuts with a little bit of foam adhesive. And then the back, again, is just another one of the dashboards cut down. Dashboard and paper. Dashboard and paper. And then this was one of our pen loops from, I think it was last month's kit that I used here, because I usually end up having 3 pens, a highlighter, and then a couple pens in my binder. And next month, and I'm actually going to film May, so I'm going to be kind of on time with May. I'm going to film May here in just a minute, and I'll show you what I did. After I did this, I was kind of like, well, shoot, now I can't use that pen loop again, really, unless I have this color. So I found a way kind of around that. So I'll show you that in my next video. So that is really about it. Oh, wait, one other thing. These little guys were part of, if our printable each month is free. So go online and print those out. What Arlie does is she will have some pages that you can cut out and use, but then she'll also, around the edges, just to not waste space, she'll put artwork and other cute things. And one of the things she had were these adorable little owls. So what I did is I just cut them out. I put a little piece of kind of heavier cardstock on the back of one of them, just so it was a little more sturdy. And then I sandwiched the paper clip in between them. So then you end up with this cute little owl clip. And that was just from a printable, so super, super cute. And then, so that is just a quick little run through of my April setup. So again, I apologize that it's so late, but I hope there was a couple things in there that you enjoyed and could maybe use in some upcoming months. So thank you so much.